it your full gusto.
What's that?
Gusto, like all of your like will and energy and
Honestly,
excitement.
I thought that was a song.
Just a reminder that you two are in the danger zone in terms of ruining my face. Here, okay?
Okay.
Don't move.
Don't move.
You can only move your hand and your pencil.
What the hell? Ew.
Excuse me. It's due now time. So do it. Quietly. If you want to discuss it with the shoulder partner, by all means, quietly discuss it with the shoulder partner. Quietly. It doesn't?
It doesn't?
Doesn't it give you a little bit to work with?
Yeah, not really. You have to do those 3 words.
Dun, dun, dun. Why did it take me so long?
Would you like me to start highlighting some things that it does give you to work
Yes,
with?
please.
Give you hints?
Okay, it gives us the state record on the
I don't even know.
Yes, everyone is having trouble with homework. Are you having trouble with the homework too? All right, what do we do about this homework situation? I'm getting a lot of people saying they're having trouble with the homework.
Yeah,
What if I say you can skip 15 instead of 10?
that doesn't help.
It was like the whole homework too. There were like 3 questions that were answerable.
Bro,
I know, I literally.
I completed it. It was easy.
Really?
I finished it. It was super easy. I got 100.
17 out of 17?
Then
Do it.
17 out of 17.
Didn't do it?
Yeah, do it.
I'm about to
No.
do it.
I can finish that. It's in my
Yeah.
My mom's a math teacher and she couldn't even do it.
Are you serious?
My uncle was a college professor and he can't do it.
My mom says
I don't know. I special math teacher.
I didn't know grade she's
She changes. Like every year it changes. I don't know.
I didn't even ask my parents because I know that they wouldn't even help me.
you're not be like,
Your mom's email?
that's not true. My mom
They would be like, I couldn't do
no,
that.
I can only play the
Guys, listen. I will look over everybody's homework grades. I know you guys are all having trouble with it. If everybody bombs it, then I might just like take it away, or I might put it out of 14 instead of 17 or something like that, okay? Just to bump things up. Bye, watch the video later, okay? All right, thank you for communicating with me that the homework was overwhelming you. I thought I was making it much easier by telling you could skip 10 questions.
No.
But apparently, did it make it easier?
No.
I'm using literally every inch of my brain.
I asked Raina for help too, and she didn't even get it.
What?
It was easy.
Ray, she gets everything.
Ray.
I'm kidding.
All right, so guys, just submit it, do your very best, and I will look at those grades. If for some reason I look at those and go, wow, this is really weird, even the kids who, would normally get 100 on homework are not getting 100.
I have
Then
104 in the class.
But I don't need the comments because I'm talking right now, right? So I will look at the data, and if the data is showing me that most of the class is not able to handle that homework, then I will do something about it. I will either grade it out of a smaller number to give you guys a higher grade, or I'll just exempt the homework, okay? But I do want you to submit it. I want you to do your best, okay? Just don't freak out, okay? No freaking out.
Say it is what it is if I get something wrong.
It is what it is.
Can I
Okay.
use photo math?
What?
Can I use photo math on it?
I have no problem with you guys using photo math as long as you show all work, because it really does step by step tell you how to do it. It shows you, okay, well, if you want to isolate this variable, then divide over here and then multiply the reciprocal. It goes through step by step. So as long as you show all work, I'm okay with photo math. Photo math was created to be a help for a student, not a cheating tool.
Last time we got in trouble with it.
Well,
It's because people want to show the
this
work.
is this year. If you show me your work and just let me know to say, hey, just so you know, I use a little photo math on this, here's all my work, okay? No big deal. She competes in the high jump event at her school. She hopes to tie break or break some, she hopes to tie or break some records at the next meet. Then Brianna is giving you some information here, Brianna and Emily. It's giving you some information here. First, it says that she wants to either tie some records or break some records. Then it gives some records. The state record is 1.75 meters. meters that they jumped over. The district record is 1.57 meters that they jumped over. Her personal best, oh, so close. It's 1.48 meters. It's really good, right? So she obviously is taking her craft, her sport, very seriously. And she's like, I feel like I'm so close. I feel like I want to work towards a higher goal. I want to tie one of these records. And if I can tie it, then maybe I can break it, right? What's the difference between tying a record and breaking a record? Faith, I saw your hand.
Time record is getting like the same, so 1.57, and then like, what was the other one?
So, yeah, just put your hand down because I can't really hear you when you're covering your mouth. So, you're right. Tying it is getting the same, so we would call that equal,
and then
right?
breaking it is like getting above it.
Yeah, getting above it, higher than, or what we in math might call greater than, right? Are we sensing what this lesson is going to be about?
Breaking records.
No, inequalities. Oh, I'm sorry, were you going to say that? Okay, well, I believe you. Okay, so first it says to write and solve an equation. To find x, what's x? It tells you the number of meters she must add to. Don't you love when a word problem actually tells you the operation? She wants to add a number of meters, x, to her personal best. Don't even worry about anything else. What would that look like? They say she wants to add a certain number of meters, which we don't know, add it to her personal best. What does that mean in terms of an equation? 1.48 plus, right, plus x. And then it says to tie the district record. And Faith said tie means the same, and same means equals. So, and then we just have to pick the district record, 1.57.
Oh, district?
Is it?
Oh, does it say district? Yeah. 1.57 is the district.
You have to add 9.
No.
Oh, are you counting on your fingers?
No.
No, of course not, right? You're just like, oh. All right, so listen. The first part of this question simply says write the equation. So let's just pause there and give ourselves a round of applause. Not really like a silent like, oh yeah, we did it. Because we wrote an equation. We wrote an equation from nothing, okay? This is one of those pesky word problems with a picture. I expose you to these problems because lots of EOC, end of course exam problems look like this. They give you a situation and they want you to write an equation and solve it. The more of these I help you with, the more you will feel confident when taking your EOC. And I know it's a long ways away, but it's going to be a thing that you have to take. It's going to be something that you have to pass in order to pass high school. Don't worry, that shouldn't scare you. Even the students I had last year that really, really struggled, still passed, okay? You can do it. The more I expose you to these kinds of problems, the better you will do. Yeah.
What if you fail it?
If you fail it, you have to take it again, or you have to pass the geometry EOC and then it kind of cancels it out. But if you fail the algebra, are you going to pass geometry? Not totally sure. You might have to take algebra again.
Do you have to take high school again?
No, you don't have to take the class again. You just have to take the EOC again.
Oh.
Yeah, but if you failed the first time,
How
it's
many
fine.
times can you retake the EOC?
I don't know. Let's focus on this. The more we spend learning, oh, my watch is, let me know when class is like 2 minutes to over because I keep looking at my watch and it's dead, okay? So we've set up an equation. Now it says solve to find the number that would allow her to tie it. What do we do?
Minus 1.48 on both sides.
Yep, minus 1.48 on both sides.
And then you get
Yeah.
x equals
0.09.
0.09.
What?
So only 9/100ths of a meter, and then she ties the district record.
How did
Good.
you get that? I got 0.0.
What did you do? Did you subtract? Did you do 1.57 minus?
You said that.
Oh,
No, I didn't.
yeah, you just accidentally put the state record
No,
instead.
I used the.
You used 1.57? Okay, did you do 1.57 minus 1.48?
Because we added 48, we added 9.
Did you put it in a calculator?
Excuse
Okay, 1.57 minus 1.48 equals 0.09.
What?
Your calculator's lying to you. Okay, so do you agree that we answered the question that says how many meters or hundredths of a meter she would need to jump higher to tie the record? Now tell me this, how would this equation change, or I guess I could say it like the book is saying it, rewrite the equation as an inequality, because we already talked about how if we want to represent where she breaks the record, does she have to jump higher or lower to break the record?
Lower.
Higher. Higher than just tying. What?
Why does it have to jump higher?
Because the higher you jump, the better your score. So if she wants to break the record, she has to jump higher than just tying it. Her meters have to be higher, or as in math, we say greater than. Okay? So go ahead, you want to tell me the equation?
Yeah. So basically, it would be 1.57.
No.
1.48
Yeah.
is less than
No.
plus something.
No. I love you guys because you try to make things more complicated than they have to be. So let's keep it simple. We're going to rewrite this equation as an inequality. That's all we have to change. Her personal best plus whatever she has to add to it has to be what?
Greater than. No, greater than.
Greater than. Greater than, so we show a greater than sign. The sign that's the way that you know it's greater than is it opens up to the higher one. We want this to be higher than this to break the record. Not just tie it, break it. You okay? Yeah, go ahead. Yes. Now listen, it says, how is the value of x in the inequality related to the value of x in that other equation, the tying equation? Yes.
Hold on. So,
Can you just pause for 1 second? I do want somebody to answer that question. I was so excited because I thought you had the answer. And we kind of did talk about this already, so we're going to be repeating ourselves a little bit. But how is the value of x in this, how does it relate to the value of x when it was an equal sign? Yes.
It has to basically, it's gonna be bigger.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be
That's it? That's all? Yeah. It's like not this, it's not like a whole essay question. It's just, it's got to be higher. The value of x in the inequality has got to be even the tiniest bit higher. So if we solve this, we are going to get the exact same number, 1.48 here, and we get x is greater than 0.09. So before we had this exact same thing, but it said x has to be equal to that to break that, to tie it, right? But to break the record, it has to be anything above it. So do you agree that x could be 0.091 meters, 91 thousandths of a meter?
Yep.
You know how intense those are. They measure
how
really,
did you
really.
get the last one?
This?
Yeah.
I was just making a number that's bigger than this.
Or she just one.
Just to show that because these measurements are so precise and so acute, we're not talking about, so she has to jump 10 higher meters. If she jumps 10 meters higher, then she'll definitely break the record. Yeah, but that's not realistic. I was giving kind of a realistic representation of she could break the record just by doing 91 thousandths of a meter better than her personal best. Yeah. I mean, she could, she could also do 0.2 or 2/10 of a meter higher, but it has to be anything higher than 0.09, yeah?
So basically, it's x is, it could be equal to or more than, because she can't keep getting the same score. When she's jumping, she can't just keep getting the same time.
In order to tie it, she has to get it equal to. In order to break it, she has to be higher than. And she technically could get the same thing over and over. All right, so we're gonna skip C because I wanna get into the lesson. Yeah.
Can I go to the water bottle?
All right, so this lesson is all about inequalities.
Is this 1.3 part 2 still?
Nope, 1.4, part 1. I only have 2 examples for you today, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna be able to do both examples plus the try it problem. So you're gonna get practice for each example. The good news is, guys, I really think that because we spent so much time on lesson 1, and we filled in all the little gaps, that these lessons are gonna feel a little bit easier than the panic of lesson 1, right? Because we filled in a lot of gaps, we slowed things down. So, when it says to solve this equation, the only difference between this and the problems, boys, the only difference between this and the equations that we've been working with is this silly inequality. But really, for the most part, we're gonna treat the inequality just like an equal sign. And we're gonna solve it the exact same way, except for one tiny little twist at the end, which is just a very tiny little rule. It's not that big, you just have to remember it. Okay? And we'll go over it. So we're going to not just solve for x, but then we're gonna graph the solution, because when we're dealing with inequalities, we need to find numbers, a group of numbers, right? We're not looking for just one value of x. I feel like I don't have your attention right now. Okay, some of you I do, I know. But as a whole, I feel like I'm not getting like the full attention, and I really need it. Actually, you really need it. You really need for me to have your full attention. Does that make sense? Okay, so a pencil in our hand, ready for me to start writing something. But I'm letting you guys know that we are going to treat this just like an equal sign, except for one tiny little part that might come up. And we'll go through that together. Now, of course, this is just too small, and I don't like the way they solve this, so we're gonna write it over here. -4, open parentheses, 3x minus 1, close parentheses, plus 6x is greater than or equal to 16. Now, don't worry about that inequality. Treat it like an equal sign. We have solved equations like this. We've been doing it for about 2 weeks. Okay? So let's just go ahead and solve. Tell me what to do.
You distribute.
Yeah, just shout it out. Distribute, okay? Tell me what to write.
-12x.
Good.
+4.
+4. Somebody say why positive?
Because the negative comes negative and positive.
Good. All right, next.
Huh?
Plus 6x. Just keep telling me what to write. Yeah, what do we call that?
Greater than. What do you want me to say?
I want you to say greater than or equal to 16. If you don't have your inequality signs memorized, it's definitely something that you need to have memorized, okay?
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, just, you gotta memorize, like put it on flashcards, okay? All right, so, what do we do next? Ethan? Combine like terms, and you know how I like to circle each term with its sign, and if I like to do it, then you like to do it too. And if you don't like to do it, don't even tell me. Just pretend like you like to do it because it's organized and it works. Okay, so Ethan, what terms can I combine?
6x and -12.
And what do we get?
-6x.
Good, -6x. Then you know I like to cross these out, so I know I'm done with working with them. And keep telling me what to write.
And then after that is -4. Or no, that's 40 plus 4.
Not equals.
Greater than or equal to 16. Greater than.
Good. What's next?
Subtract on both sides.
Good, subtract 4 on both sides. See how we keep treating it like an equal sign and it's super easy? -6x, this cancels, greater than or equal to 12. Now, on this last step, please don't interrupt, okay? On this last step, we're still gonna do it just like we normally would. And then there's gonna be a twist.
Big twist.
A big twist. And then you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know he was the killer. Just kidding. Yeah. Oh, okay. Somebody's showing a hidden talent.
I love
Here we go, back up here, I need your attention. So solve it just like you would. Tell me what
Divide
to
by
do.
6.
Divide by
Divide-
six. Negative 6.
Divide by negative 6 on both sides. Now here is the surprise ending.
I know what
You know what to do? Tell me.
so you divide and then after you divide 12 by negative 6, the sign flips.
Yes, did Mrs. Seltz teach you that?
She taught us what?
Mrs. Seltz taught you guys last year that when you divide or multiply by a negative, your inequality flips.
It's less than or equal to negative.
Yes, and that's it. That's the only twist to this part. So now we have this cancels out, we have x, but instead of a greater than or equal to sign, it flips to a less than or equal to sign, and then we just divide, and we have negative 2. And the reason it flips is because when you divide by a negative, you're basically flipping sides of the number line, okay? So instead of being greater, x would be greater than, you're actually saying, well, it's negative would be on the other side, okay? Now you wanna ask your question?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's only when we multiply and divide we split the thing.
Yes, only when you multiply or divide. Most of the time you're gonna be dividing boys, that's the second time I've talked to you. Most of the time it'll be a dividing situation. Tell me a situation where I might be multiplying.
I have a question.
Oh, okay. Tell me a situation where I might be multiplying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whenever like they're in parentheses, or whenever all of the
Little dot next to it.
Yeah.
What about when I have like negative 1/3 x?
Oh, whenever you're multiplying because they're together.
Multiplying by a
X.
Very
reciprocal.
reciprocal.
Okay, so that would be like a multiplying situation. Here, we're just dividing in these examples. Okay, oh, I haven't finished this yet. The last thing we want to do is graph this. Now, you can see the graph, the book makes it really simple. It just shows where 0 is and that negative 2 is less than 0. Honestly, I don't even care if you write the 0. I just want you to show me on a number line that your value for where we're gonna, as like your starting point, is negative 2. Then I want you to show me if x is all numbers less than or equal to negative 2. I'm gonna put a circle here to show that I'm talking about my negative 2. It says less than or equal to. Should my circle be filled in or empty?
Empty.
Empty.
Filled in.
Filled
Filled in, why?
Equal to.
Because it's
Equal
2
to.
or
Yes,
less.
because a value that would make this true is negative 2. Because it says it can be less than it or equal to it. So negative 2 could be a value, so we need to fill it in, we need to include it. Give me a value that also could be included in a correct, yeah.
Negative 4.
Negative 4, give me another one.
Negative 10.
Not you, you.
Negative 100.
Oh my gosh, negative 100, I didn't even listen to the rest of her number. Negative 100 and something, yes. Negative a billion,
Negative
yes.
100
It keeps going and going, that's why we have an arrow, so we don't have to stay here all day and list all of the numbers. We just show that it's all values less than negative 2 or equal to negative 2. And that's how we graph the solution. It's not too bad, right?
No.
Ready to try one on your own?
No, actually, yes. Yes, I will try it.
No.
I will try it. Wait, can we do it with?
Also, I just want to point out this is a little mini tiny vocabulary word, okay? Recall that a set is a collection of objects such as numbers. Obviously, we're dealing with numbers here. The solution of the inequality is the set of all real numbers that are less than, okay? So I might call it like a group of numbers. The technical math term is a set of numbers. It just means a group of numbers, a set, okay? So if you want to write a set is a collection of numbers or a group of numbers, then I want you to try A and B. I want you to solve them and graph them. How do you already have questions? Sure, try to do it on your own, but if you need help, if you get stuck, yeah, you can use your shoulder partner. How are you stuck? We just did.
Can I go home? Just say the
Wait, no, I think
Two heads are better than one.
Hold on. Wait, I can't see.
That's great.
Calm down, my dude.
I'm gonna check to make sure.
I haven't touched
I'm
it.
just making sure.
Yeah, I still give it.
Way off. we never.
We're good people.
Would you distribute first over here? Would you?
Yeah.
Yes, distribute first.
I don't.
Life summary.
Agreed.
Don't forget to graph it.
So
Also,
six.
just so you know, you're going to get a fraction as your thing. You don't have to divide it, don't get out your calculator and try to get a decimal number. Just use the improper fraction, put your improper fraction on a number line, write your improper fraction, and then.
How do we get the improper fraction?
Well, I'm just saying, hint, you might end up with an improper fraction as your answer, as your value for.
Man, your kids are lucky.
Why?
They got a math teacher as a mom.
Right? Honestly.
Wait,
I'm on the
Yeah.
so
I got a math
so when I subtract some 8,
Bro,
Then-
you know
Yeah.
do I put the sign?
No, that's only when you're dividing or multiplying. So subtracting does not make the inequality flip. Adding or subtracting a negative does not make the inequality flip. It's only multiplying or dividing a negative,
So it's
okay?
negative 6x plus negative 2.
Does it end up to be negative, like once you distribute, does it become negative 6? Or is it positive 6?
This?
Yeah.
Negative 6. Negative 6 cents.
Okay, and then do you do plus or minus whenever, like, so
I've got an idea. Shh. Let's do A together and then you guys can do B on it. You ready today? Can I see it?
Did it right. Did you get
Yes, just reduce that.
I'm not dying with it.
Keep it improper, but reduce it.
Oh, I'm going to the next one.
I know.
Just, I don't think so,
No, we're
but,
not. We're not having a sleepover. No, I told her last period.
believe that's it, yeah, but, yeah, I said to leave it as an improper fraction, and dividing it. But,
Why are you going to a dance? What do you have to do is 9 p.m.
No, my dog is huge.
I mean, Paul goes by some talent.
yeah,
No, it's not.
I mean, my dog is good.
Your dog needs to feed your brother.
girls,
Okay.
girls,
I have a question.
yeah.
I thought we were doing 8.
People wanted to just try it on their own. because they
I
wanted
love
to-
Argo.
You want negative 2.6.
Yes, and that,
Does that mean?
Bo. That's why I said, leave it as an improper fraction, which means don't divide the numerator by the denominator.
Yes, Jacob.
Oh,
Okay.
What?
I know first.
I'm gonna do A on the
So
board.
is this, wait, what?
No, you need to do this, okay? Then when you do this, then you can go to the bathroom. All right. Quiet. We get a negative 6x minus 6 is less than 10. Did everybody get at least that?
I did.
Yes.
Oh, I
Good,
did
good,
do
good.
that.
Then follow along, let's see if you can find your mistake. Plus 6, plus 6. Cancel. Negative 6x is less than 16. Do you guys get that?
Yeah.
Good.
forgot that part.
Okay. Well, she wrote her work down, she found a mistake, that's okay by me. Divide by negative 6, divide by negative 6, cancel, and x is what?
Greater than.
Greater than, not less than, greater than. Now, you were like, oh, I'm gonna put that in my calculator because that hurts my head. Well, sure, you could get negative 2.6, but you can also just reduce this fraction. It's a negative fraction, and you would reduce by dividing both of them by 2, and you would get 8 over 3. Okay? To graph that, I know it says the denominator is negative. If one of them is negative, the whole fraction is negative. So it would be negative 8 over 3. Would it be a filled in circle or an open circle? Girls, filled in circle, what? Filled in circle. It would be open, thank you. Open circle. Is x bigger than or smaller than? this.
Bigger.
Bigger, it's greater than.
Wait, why
So do we
is it
want to fill in the values, the set of numbers that's on the right, going towards positive infinity, or on the left, going towards negative infinity?
Negative, positive.
Why is
Positive.
it, not filled in?
What? It is not filled in because look at our inequality sign. There is no equal sign as part of it, so we don't include this number. It's kind of like a starting point, but it's not included in the value. It's saying anything higher than it, but not including it.
So when we're doing,
Shh.
when we're doing with no equal sign, we don't fill it.
Correct.
Okay.
Equal sign gets filled in, no equal sign gets left open. Try B and please get it right. Did you get it already?
Yes.
Did you leave it improper?
Yeah.
Did you leave it improper?
He didn't.
Leave it improper.
Why?
Because I said.
But it's a normal number. It's not a.
And you got it wrong.
Then you got it wrong.
No, it's
Yeah.
Look. So you made it that even as that you don't make numbers. You don't make numbers.
Would it be negative 4?
Yes.
So,
Would it be negative 4 or positive?
I told Kylie that she was working. I told Jacob.
Hold on, let me do it.
so all that means is it would be.
Can you shut up, Jacob?
No, if you're not. If you're trying to.
I don't want to sit by
Yeah, I know.
Something wrong? Something wrong?
Yeah.
I feel like you walked
I really need your number 4.
She's so black.
No!
So what?
No, I said block.
You're not in trouble, I just want to check.
I'm actually.
Okay, for real, you're not in trouble.
No negatives.
I want to get a plan going. Alright, did you get it?
So you leave it as a fraction.
Why are you asking me for the answer if you clearly know how to do
For the first
it?
one, you said leave it as the.
As an improper fraction, but I reduced it. I just divided 16 by 2 and I divided 6 by 2. So we got 8 over 3. That's what reducing a fraction is. It's kind of like 2 fourths. Reduce it down to 1 half.
Yeah, what is it?
It's okay to still have a bigger numerator. We're not trying to make it a mixed number or a decimal. We just say that, hey, those are both even. They can both be divided by 2.
No.
So we just reduce it. So that everybody that gets the fraction is the same fraction. Does that make sense? Oh, I can't even.
I give up.
It's true.
Have you ever done that?
But it's not
Okay,
what?
then you can throw it as a decimal and have fun.
I'm
Okay?
just-
What did you guys get for this? That is, I need to see it as an inequality. You circled it as if that's the value for x, but it's not. You're close. I know, which is right, that's an inequality. And then you guys have to graph it also. Did you do it? Did you do B?
I got as
Okay.
far as
You
subtracting
get it?
and then I gave up. Yeah, I don't think I did it
Anybody
right.
else get it? Yeah, Brianna got it.
Then you got wrong.
I got
Do you want to give that?
We can't divide that
You're
way.
gonna
It's
get in
not
trouble.
That's not a bad word. It's in the Bible.
It's not in the context though.
It's in the Bible.
It's not in the context. It's not in the
What
context.
context?
It has to be in the right context.
What do you mean?
Like in the Bible, it's in the right context.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
What am I looking at here, a 1?
That
Is that a 1? Oh. Okay. Right, that's not right.
All those children up there.
Up there, what did it have?
There's a lot taller than I.
Thank you. Everybody is silent. We will do this together. Whoa. Brianna, can you help me with this? Can you help me tell me what you did?
First you distribute.
I need it to be silent in here. Lily, up here. Okay, go ahead.
So I got 8 minus 4x.
Good.
And then the sign.
Greater than.
Greater than 1.
Okay.
And then I subtracted on both sides. Those cancel out, and it would be -7.
Negative 4, we're starting with this,
okay,
right?
so yeah,
Negative 4x greater than
greater than -7.
-7.
And then, hold on, give me a second, sorry. And then you divide -4 on both sides.
Divide by -4 on both sides, yep.
And so you have, then I got x is less than.
Good.
7/4.
She switched the inequality because we divided by a negative. Is less than, now the negative over the negative, that cancels, right? So it's a 7/4. X is less than 7/4. How do we graph it? We simply do our little arrow number line. We write 7/4 and we don't have to change it into a decimal, right? And then we draw a circle. Do we fill it in or leave it open?
Leave it open.
Leave it open. Do we want to fill in a set of numbers that's smaller than 7/4 or larger?
Larger.
Smaller.
Yeah, it says X has to be smaller.
quiet.
I don't need your negative.
Okay,
I'm done.
I have another example I need to get through with you guys. Yeah,
Wouldn't it be a -4?
it would not because
Well, the 4 there is.
-7 over -4.
Negative.
What I'm simplifying is my negatives. Negative divided by a negative is positive.
Well, you have to get -7.
I have
Because
all the
1 minus 8 is -7.
I have all the work.
Shh, oh, sorry.
Don't worry, I
He
have
has
all,
the work.
I have the work.
Okay, now listen, we have one more thing to do. It is the exact same thing, except for one tiny little twist. The only twist is we're doing something that we have already learned in here. We have X on both sides. No big whoop, no big whoop. Okay, pretend it's an equal sign. I'm gonna do it over here. 3.5x plus 19 is greater than or equal to 1.5x minus 7. If I'm writing, you're writing. I see people staring. I'm glad you're paying attention up here, but it's not that exciting to watch me write an equation on the board, so please use your time wisely and write your equation on your paper, okay? Shh, no thank you, no comments. All right, so what do we do now? Somebody walk me through this. Let's just go through this. Come on, Faith.
You have to don't you have to switch the not -7 to the other side?
What?
Never mind.
Okay,
Subtract 19.
sure. You know what? We could do either one. We could try to take care of our regular numbers. We could try to take care of our x terms. It really doesn't matter. So you want to subtract 19 or do you want to add 7? I think let's add 7. That'll make it nice and simple. Well, either way, you're going to end up with the negatives. Okay, we'll add our 7, and then we have 3.5x plus 26 is greater than or equal to 1.5x. Okay, and what do we do?
Minus 3 subtract.
Yeah. Subtract 3.5x from both sides. If you did it the other way, where you subtracted 1.5x from both sides first, that's totally fine.
It's -2, right?
This would be, yes, -2x. So we have 26 is greater than or equal to -2x. What do we do?
Divide by 2 on each side.
Divide by -2 on each side. Then what happens? What happens?
It flips.
It flips. So we have a less than or equal to sign, and we have 26 over -2 is
Wait, what?
negative 13 is less than or equal to x. I'm actually glad we solved it this way, because you're gonna come across things like this. Sometimes when you go to solve and you have all these options, you're gonna choose one and go, uh-oh, it put my x on the wrong side. There's nothing wrong with this, but I will show you how you can rewrite this so that x is on the other side, if you want to. All you have to do is if you want x over here and -13 over here, you can switch them, but It's not like the commutative property of equality. It's not like that you can just switch and on the sides of the equal sign. If you're switching your inequality, then your inequality switches with it. Okay, because this can be read like this. Negative 13 is less than or equal to x. It could also be read as x is greater than or equal to negative 13. So if you want your x to come first, which is easier to graph, just switch it. X is greater than or equal to negative 13. Do you guys understand?
Why did you
We switched it first because we divided by a negative. Then we ended up with an inequality. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just written with the x on the other side, so it's kind of hard to read it. So all I did was I switched the spots and I flipped my inequality. Okay? So when we graph it, we have our negative 13 graphed. It is including an equal sign. Boys, stop. It's including the equal sign. What?
There's like someone humming.
Yeah, no humming. We are including the equal sign, so we're including the negative 13 that gets filled in. And then x has to be greater than it, so we're including the set of numbers that is greater than negative 13. This one, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that it's a little hard to graph because it's it's backwards unless you are able to read it backwards and you say, well, x, you come from this side, you go, x is greater than or equal to negative 13. And if you can graph it like that, then that's fine. I want you guys to try it on your own. Yes?
Why is it filled in? I thought you
Because
said
of the equal.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's the equal. I thought you meant like the actual equal sign.
No.
Yeah, that's what I got.
This
from
is
that.
half inequality and half equal sign. It includes the value, okay? Ready? It's only one problem, you guys. If you get it right on your very first try, with no help, I'll give you a piece of candy.
Whoa.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not ready. I'm done.
If you get it right on your very first try, you don't have to be the first person to get it right. It's not a race. We have, oh goodness, we have like
2 minutes.
8. Oh no, we don't. Okay, we have like 5 minutes.
No.
5 minutes. We have 5 minutes. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Go nice and slow. We still have a few minutes. Leave it as an improper fraction. Very good. All right. Silently, so people can. You have it right here, but then you switched your inequality. We didn't divide by negative. We divided by positive. Very good. Here you go.
It's like,
Yeah. Let me just give me 1 second.
bro, I did it.
I give up.
Wrong. It's wrong. I can't.
Only when you're dividing by a negative, you switch to inequality.
Yeah.
That is true. You have to graph it.
Oh, right.
Now be careful when you graph that. It's going to be hard. You might want to switch those spots and switch the inequality. Just weeks I want. I know, it's such a habit now. That's good graphic.
Oh, never mind.
I give up.
All right.
Not it.
You want me to do it real quick?
No. I've already struggled enough for today.
I tried so hard to.
Bro. This is why I gave up on trying.
Yeah, can you grab it for me real quick?
If you
You get it?
You probably took one for Callie. What do you have in your pocket?
empty your pocket, sir. That's a felony.
I'm gonna tell her.
If you like this right there.
All right, go pick and I'll let you guys go.
Bro.
Oh,
She will do that if you're not. Don't find it.
it says
Yes, she
Hear
can.
you.
Yeah, she can.
It's a felony.
I'm like 99%. She's like,
You got it? What'd you get?
She got a reminder.
Go.
17 over negative.
Oh, it's not negative. Okay, here we go. We're gonna solve this. I'm gonna do, let's see, minus 2x on both sides. I have a negative 5. It's less than 3x minus 22. Let's see, I can, whoops. What am I doing here? Negative 5. Okay, add 22 to both sides, right? 22 minus 5 is 17, thank you.
Where did we
It's
get
less
3?
than 3x. Then I have divide by 3, divide by 3. I have 17 over 3 is less than x. Or x is greater than 17 over 3. Both of those are correct. This one is easier to graph. And so we'll say x is greater than, so it would be like that. Bye-bye.